Ever since they started this online Pokemon crap, got the critters running all over the place. And I got one in my backyard. There's an Eevee. I've seen Pikachu and everything else. Let's see. Yeah, for sure it's an Eevee.
Is that what it is? It's an Eevee?
Yeah.
Well, I hope it evolves into something cool. Hey all, this is Flareon, the evolution of Eevee. I really hope that you'll stay tuned to watch to see how I got this look inspired by Pokemon Go. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. As you can see by the title of this video, today's look, courtesy of the extremely popular game right now, Pokemon Go. Now, it's supposed to be a game that is going to get people up and about and walking and moving and running and just being more physical. But I can tell you this. The other day, my husband and I were at the park. When the first car pulled up, we didn't think much of it. The second car pulled up, went to exactly the same spot and turned around. I was getting a little suspicious, but he doesn't follow the news, so he didn't really know. By the time the third one got there, I said to him, "How much do you want to bet they're playing Pokemon Go?" He's going to walk to X space, look at his phone, and turn around. And sure enough, he did it. And when the fourth one did it, I was like, gosh. But 2 out of the 4 drove there. So, and one of them was a child. So you're really not, well, the child didn't drive, but the parent did. But you understand that really doesn't, it's not what it's all about. So anyway, as you can see, I have my whole face done. And right now we're going to work on the look, the first look. Now, for the first look, we're doing Eevee. And for anybody that doesn't know what character that is, I will pop it up right up here, the picture. And then I will evolve. So you'll have to stay tuned to see what I evolve to. Okay, so let's get started with my Julep blank canvas. And I just apply one at a time because it is a mattifying primer, so it dries fairly quickly. So what are you guys' thoughts on Pokemon Go? Do you play? I don't play. I get a lot of enjoyment of watching others play. I watched a video last night that it was kind of a news reel, and it had like, I would say 25 people heading towards this one character, and I'm sure it was a popular one they needed for whatever reason, but it was very funny to watch. All of them just like bam, you know, in one place at the same time. I'm like, I'm thinking, you know, do they have to call for crowd control sometimes with this? I don't know, but let me know down below if you are playing. So the first look is going to be for Eevee, and Eevee, as you know, I'll pop her up again, is a brown character, so we're going to do, you know, a subtle look, and I think I'm going to start with the Semi-Sweet palette. And this is the very first palette that I owned, and I use it quite a lot, so I'm going to zoom you in on this. Alright, I think that's definitely a closer up. Please don't judge the brows. I'm just, you know, not really great with the brows, shall we say. So where were we? Yes, applying. I'm just applying that coconut cream. You know, Pokemon was very popular when my children were little, and you know, will be once again, it would seem. So I don't mind. You know, it's kind of nostalgic. And because I have hooded eyes, I do have to come up a little bit further, as we know. So I'm just going to blend this. This is the peanut butter shade, and we're just going to blend this until we can, you know, get a nice transition. I'm going to bring in a clean, fluffy brush and blend that out. There's nothing on it. So guys, I've been using a product on my brows that helped me grow in where I was sparse. So if anybody would like a video on that product, please let me know, because I'm sure, I don't know how it works or why it works, but it works. You know, not too many products do what they claim to do. So the fact that this one did was very exciting to me. So I'm going to go in with just a little bit more of that. And this time, because I do have the hooded eyes, I'm going to bring it in to the crease and then over. And this is going to kind of do a little triangle thing to, you know, make the hooded eye not quite as obvious. This is the biggest part of my hood, the part that I really am not thrilled with. And I grabbed a different brush. This is an Eco Tools brush. See how that's kind of camouflaging the hood? And that's what you want to do. You want to try to make it less obvious. All right, so next you want a little bit deeper shade. And I think we'll go with Truffled. This is from their Elite collection, and it is an amazing brush. Look at that brush head. It says Mom. Okay. And this one I'm going to concentrate right in the crease, and I'm going to look forward when I do it. And again, you want to bring some of that color over for the hood. You know, I'm not a boy in the hood, I'm a girl in the hood. I just like to be able to show people that, you know, just because you have hooded eyes doesn't mean you can't have similar looks. Again, this is that clean brush. I am cleaning my brushes in between with my homemade, what is it called? Something switch. Color switch, yeah. I don't own a color switch, but I made my own for $2. So, and I do have a video on that if you want to take a look. Now see how that's just building up a nice depth in there. This is my very first tutorial, so to speak. Interesting that I chose this collaboration. Now the lovely girls from What's Up in Makeup that are collabing with me, I will have their links below for you so that you can go right to their channel and see what they came up with. Now some of them are on YouTube, some of them are on Instagram. So please go ahead and take a look. There's going to be eye looks and there's going to be nail looks. So definitely give it a look-see. So now the next color I am going to use is Mousse. And again, this is from the Semi-Sweet palette, but these are very, you know, easy colors, chocolatey brown. And I'm going to use just a flat shader brush because that's going to be my main color on the lid. Or trying to, you know, mimic the shades that our dear friend Eevee, the ones that kind of, you know, speak to her character's colors. And I'm going to blend that lid color out. This is all about a diffused, sweet you know, almost gentle kind of, that's what I envision as this particular Pokemon, you know, looks like it wouldn't hurt a fly. I take the colors that I used up here in the transition, start with the peanut butter, and we have to connect the look. So now with the semi-sweet palette, you do have to tap off your brush. Okay, and now we're going to clean off our brush and go back into that mousse. I think I'm actually, for that one, I'm going to use a Beauty Junkie's flat brush. This is going to work perfect for that. I don't want to cover up the peanut butter color, so go in and press that in along the lash line. Oh, I love the smell of this palette. Smudge that out. Okay, and that's it for the shadow portion of it. Now we're going to go ahead. This is a really pretty look you could wear anywhere. We're going to go in with some eyeliner. So okay, so this look, we're going to get a little more dramatic here, and I'm going to do some dark liner. We're going in with some black eyeliner to make this look more dramatic. You could stop right here, put your mascara on if you wanted to use this as a daytime look, but I'm going to go in with the Tarte Silk Amazonian Clay pencil. Now this we're going to use to tightline. It's perfect for tightlining. So I'm going to go in and do the inner part of the eye, being very careful not to tug on your eye, because trust me, I wish somebody had told me that when I was younger. Okay, and once you have the inner rim, you're going to come in and also line the lower part first. Just going to come in a thin line because you want to still keep the integrity of the shades you put down there. A little bit thicker on the corner. Okay, so I want to darken that up. As you can see, this is quite the dramatic look, but this is, you know, sort of for artistic purposes more than, you know, you could wear this out if you wanted to, but I'm not sure I would ever do it. So I'm going to go ahead and do the top part, and we're just going to try to start in the middle, and I'm just going to kind of dash it. Going to make it just a little bit thicker as I go out towards the corner. I love how this is looking so far. This is my first time doing it, actually. I know I should have done it before. I'm going in with the primer side of the Superstar mascara here. Just because I really like the primer, but I'm going to use a different mascara. So we're going to go in and open the right side. Okay, we're going to go in and just put on that primer, starting with the lower lash. Now, lashes are really important to this look. You could use false lashes if that's your thing. I just use mascara because I've been blessed with quite long lashes. and I'm actually using coconut oil on them every night as part of my skincare routine, and they seem to be coming in a little thicker. Someone had recommended that, and I think it's working. So I've only been doing it for a little over a week. I mainly wanted to grow in the lower lashes down here that just, I can't seem to get the corner to grow very well. This is the Ulta Legendary Lengths Mascara, and I was sent this as a gift, and I love it. Love it. Now I do the blinking method for my lower lashes. I was taught that a long time ago from a Mary Kay consultant, and I've done it ever since. And it just works so much better for me. Once I have a layer on there, I will wiggle the brush a little bit. Alright, now time for the upper lashes, and we'll see just how high I can get these to go. Of course, you can use any mascara that you like if you're not using, if you don't want to use false lashes. Like I said, I just cannot get the hang of false lashes, so you will never see them on me. It's just not my bag, baby. Thank you, Austin Bowers. So that's a completed eye look, and if you can see, I did add a gold liner right across the top of the black liner because the character, as you can see, we'll pop it up again, has a really pretty color, like it's kind of a whitish. I decided to use gold because I thought it looked cute. And so I'm going to go ahead and evolve, shall we say, here in just a minute. Well, I almost forgot to do a bone highlight. So we're going to go in with the other, the Butter Pecan that's also in the Semi-Sweet palette, and just come up under here, making sure not to put it on any parts of the hooded part of your eye. And I'm also going to use this shade just for an inner corner highlight. Just a little bit. Alrighty, there we go. So I've removed my lip look, and now our Eevee, or Eevee, is going to evolve into Flareon. I will have a picture up here. We'll show you what I'm basing this look after, and to really get the look and feel that I want with this one, I'm gonna go in with the Manny MUA palette because I really think that I want to use Mars. Now, I'm going to show you how to evolve this look, and it's really not going to be too terribly difficult. I'm going to take some clean brushes and we're just going to transform this look. And to apply the red, I'm going to use, I'm going to bring you guys in closer. So we're going to take some of the Mars, and now this Mars does fade out to pink, but I want to try to keep it as red as possible. So I'm going to probably do more of a tapping motion. Now I'm just going to I'm going to cover up the gold. I don't really want it to be at all pink, so I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to leave the liner, and we're going to embellish on the liner a little bit too, but for right now, I am like combining a couple of looks that were on the internet. So you see me looking down every now and then. I wanted to make it my own, so alright, so here's where we're going to come up. Sorry if that last part wasn't loud enough for you guys. Totally forgot to plug my microphone back in. So let's get back to it here. So we're going to try to, as I was saying, I made this, making this look my own. There are a lot of, trying to get this to go in sort of a flame, sort of, there are a ton of references, I say a ton, for you to choose from if you wanted to do this yourself. Now, you know, this would be good Halloween makeup, this would be good club makeup, I would say. I am going to intensify the liner, as I said, but for right now we're just building the red color, and I want to try to keep it as red, like I said, as red as possible. Yeah, I'm going to come down with the red as well. And again, this is, you know, for dramatic effect. It's really, you know, it's not, I don't know if I'd wear this out. But then again, maybe I would. Maybe, you know, my 50s is when I'm gonna really come out of my shell. I like how that's coming out to the point. I think that we want to stay doing that. And I'm just coming a little bit over each layer. And in this particular case, we're not going to blend until we get closer to the crease. And this is, you know, good technique wise, you know, what you can definitely take from this is how to turn your daytime look into a nighttime look. You know, it's not going to take a whole lot. You know, don't be afraid to go over makeup. Now I am going to go over this with a pretty interesting color from the Vice palette. So I'm just gonna start blending this now. Now I'm gonna transition to a couple more colors, and then we'll actually be done with this look. And I'm gonna clean that up, obviously. Definitely clean off your red brush. This pigment will stay, and I have primer on, so it's very important that you do use a primer if you're going to use any red. Anything with a strong red pigment is going to possibly stain. Wanting this to look much more like a flame, so I'm telling you that micellar water saves the day. Well, now that would be awesome if you're an Arizona Cardinals fan. All right, so let's get the Vice palette out that I got for Christmas. And we're going to use the shade that I can't read, but it's orangey shade. I'll tell you that much. How's that? I'm going to take a synthetic brush for this one, because this does have some shimmer on it, and I am going to wet my brush. Use a little bit of the e.l.f. Mist and Set. And hopefully this will come out the way that I want it to. Trying to give it that gradual look, you know, of something fiery. Which I love this color. It is an awesome color. If you don't have the Vice palette, I don't know where you could get it now. Probably on eBay for $1 bajillion. Oh, this is perfect. Just one more shade of eye makeup, and then we'll put a little more liner on and we'll be good. I would definitely recommend that you use a liquid liner rather than the liner that I used, because it really ended up not working out so well, and I went over it with the liquid liner. So now I'm going to use the yellow shade from Makeup Geek, and it's called Fortune Teller, and I'm going to use that pretty much the same area that I used. This was also gifted to me from a wonderful, wonderful lady. I'm going to just sort of follow the orange line for this. Oh, I'm liking how this look is going. Now, normally, you know, we would want to blend out any harsh lines, but not when you're doing something, you know, dramatic. This is more theatrical, so you're going to want it to stay, you know, so that you can see the difference in the looks. At least that's what I want. So you do you, I'll do me, and that would work out best, I would think. So I'm going to get a liquid black liner. You can use whatever black liner you have or want to use. And I'm just going to make that a little bit more all right. So our Pokemon has officially evolved into our... I'm just going to even out the brow bone highlight with the butter pecan that we used from earlier. And there you have it, guys. What do you think? Okay, guys, so there's the evolution, at least my interpretation of Eevee's evolution into Flareon. I was kind of basing my look off of one of my favorite fiery birds, and that would be the Phoenix. So, do you think I captured it? Let me know down below if you like this kind of interesting theatrical type style of makeup, or if you liked Eevee's more natural style. Give her a thumbs up if you liked anything that you saw today, or even if you learned anything. You know, I don't do tutorials very often, but I think I did a pretty good job. But you can let me know, be honest please. And I had so much fun doing this. I'm so glad that my fellow reporters from What's Up in Makeup joined me on this collaboration. I hope that you'll check out all of their channels, and I also hope that you'll give them a like and a subscribe as well. I don't know if you've all been missing What's Up in Makeup as much as I have, but thankfully Jen is back. We will start our show anew next week, so make sure that you come back at 9:30 next Sunday for a What's Up in Makeup review. I believe that we're going to include anything we might have missed over the past couple of weeks, and we'll probably have some new stuff as well. So don't forget to join us, and I hope you really like this, and I hope that you'll join me on my social media. I will have everything linked below, and thank you so much for sticking it out to the end of this video.